Ladies and gentlemen, seniors of all kinds, thanks for joining my Medicare Educational Podcast. Super excited today. Very excited about what, you might ask. Well, the most important topic that we can have. There is an infinite amount of possibilities for us to talk about. If you're a follower of the podcast, make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and share for your fellow Medicare beneficiaries. But if you're a follower of the podcast, one thing that you will see is that there's so much to talk about. It's insane. But today, my favorite topic is Medicare Advantage versus Original Medicare. All right. So, like I said, Medicare Advantage versus Original Medicare. Today, that's the topic. And it's my favorite topic because it's the most common thing that I've had to talk about with people. So first of all, I just want to kind of give people an insight to me and how I feel about it. So as an advisor and as somebody who has helped thousands of people of all walks of life, all different types of health, I can tell you right now, confidently, in my opinion, it really doesn't matter. That's my opinion. If you choose Medicare Advantage, you're going to have fine health care. You're going to have to navigate some networks, and you're going to have some out-of-pocket expenses. If you choose Original Medicare and a Medicare Supplement, you're going to pay premiums, but you're not really going to pay anything. You're never going to have to worry about it. But you're not going to have benefits. There's pros and there's cons to both types. But I'm here to tell you, as far as healthcare is concerned, Medicare in general is, in my honest opinion, it's as good as you can get because it covers everything. And at the end of the day, yes, with Medicare Advantage, you have prior authorization. Guess what? Traditional Medicare is going to be adding that real soon. Trust me. Why do they have prior authorization? Because they waste too much money. Do you know how many people take advantage of Original Medicare and just file claims that are never paid? Or file claims that are paid, by taxpayer dollars. So that's what's happened with Medicare Advantage. The reason it's even there in the first place is because Original Medicare, it's there, and the doctors would just file. I've seen people with scratched eyeballs get an MRI. You don't need an MRI. You need eye drops. Like I've seen all kinds of stuff, but neither here nor there. The discussion today is about Medicare Advantage versus Original Medicare. Original Medicare alone has a 80%, 20% coinsurance. That 20% coinsurance is the beneficiary's responsibility if they do not have a Medicare supplement. If you have a Medicare supplement, you don't have to worry about it. Your Medicare supplement will probably have a copay here, a copay there, a deductible here, maybe. But ultimately, your supplement's going to cover everything. And if you have a Original Medicare only and no supplement, you will have an uncapped 20% coinsurance. And that is not good. The biggest thing that I would avoid for Medicare beneficiaries is having Original Medicare only. Only having Original Medicare, it just doesn't add up. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a cancer diagnosis, God forbid. That cancer diagnosis is going to give you some chemotherapy treatment. It's going to give you some radiation, whatever, a surgery, whatever. Let's say it's a surgery. Let's say it's a $75,000 surgery. They're going in, they're removing it from your prostate or, ovarian cancer, whatever. Doesn't matter. They go in, it's $100,000 just for math purposes. They go in and they remove it. $100,000. And if you don't have a supplement, what is going to happen? They're going to send you a bill, multiple bills, and it's going to be 20 grand because you pay 20%. I don't want you to have to pay that 20%. There's two ways to avoid it. Either a Medicare Supplement Plan or a Medicare Advantage plan. And Medicare supplements are phenomenal. They're amazing. They really, truly are. If I was turning 65, I can't say that I would get a Medicare Advantage or a Medicare Supplement Plan. I don't really know what I would do because that's a long ways away. I'm 32 years old and I don't know how my health's going to be in 30 years. But if my health was exactly the way it is right now and I had to choose, I'd probably choose a Medicare Advantage plan. Or you could do a high deductible Medicare Supplement Plan. It's another great option. So I'm going to go over some today. We're going to do a little screen share like we love to do on this wonderful podcast. So we have Original Medicare versus Medicare Advantage. Original Medicare has an 80/20 coinsurance. The Medicare Supplement option, we're going to talk about that first. You have Plan N. Plan N would give you as of 2025, a $250 deductible. After the deductible, you have a $20 copay at specialist and primary care doctor, and you have a $50 copay at the ER. After that, the one thing that you have to note with a Medicare Supplement Plan N is that excess charges are not covered. Excess charges is the hospital or the doctor's office. They have the ability to charge 15% above the Medicare approved amount. Now, what we've learned is that this is extremely rare. In fact, let's say 95% of doctors, we'll say of networks, do not participate. So what that means is they accept what Medicare pays them. So if Medicare says, we're going to give you a $500 allotment, this service is $500 worth of work. That doctor can say, that's not at all what I'm charging. I'm going to charge an extra 15%. The Plan N would not cover it. Plan G would. So Plan G, the only cost, $250 deductible is the only cost. It covers everything after. So you would have no copays, you would have no 15% excess charges, none of that. Now, another one that a lot of people talk about is a Plan F. Zero costs associated with the Plan F. I remember when I was a child, I would hear my father talking about Plan F. It was the only thing really available. So I remember that, and I remember it well. Plan F was the Cadillac of plans. There was no cost associated with it. No copays, no deductibles, nothing. You pay the premium and everything's covered. So he sold a lot of Plan Fs, so zero cost with it. However, it was discontinued after January of 2020. If Part A or B is effective before 1/2020, you can get it. That's the only way. Now, one other thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about high deductibles. I like the idea of high deductible Plan G. It has roughly a $2,800 deductible. And after that, everything is covered. And you may ask yourself, why would you get a $2,800 deductible when you could get a $250 deductible? Well, the high deductible Plan G is very, very low cost. You're looking at probably $40 per month, as opposed to with a regular Plan G, you're looking at, we'll put it up here. Regular Plan G, you're looking at probably, it depends on the area. Every area is different. That's what's really important about this, is getting in touch with me or one of my agents. You have to make sure that you you got to compare the options in your area, right? So I can show you. So if you live in, we will look up, let's see, zip code. And actually, I know a zip code. We'll use Mississippi as an example. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Okay, so never mind. I was going to quote it for you, but there's an error on that website. So it's unfortunate. But I've been doing this a long time. I've got a lot of experience. Your regular plan G, it depends on where you are. You're looking at, between $90 and $200. Doesn't matter. Really, what matters is where you are, your location, your zip code. So yeah, it could be upwards of $200 a month. And then that high deductible G, no matter where you are, is going to be around $40 a month, 50 at the most, 60 at the most. But I've seen the high deductible G's in every area. They seem to be roughly the same price. Plan N, which gives you a little bit more flexibility as far as costs are concerned. You're probably looking at $70 a month. Now, here's what's important to factor in with Medicare supplement plans. Medicare supplement plans have rate increases. So they increase over time. Roughly, I would probably say they increase on average 10 to 15%. And that's why I would really consider the high deductible plan, because what you can do is that's going to barely go up, if at all. And what you can do is you can attach critical illness and a hospital plan to it, and you're in really, really good shape. And you'd be paying $100, $120 a month, $150 if you want to get a really, really good package. So Medicare supplement plans, they're phenomenal. They're awesome. It's all about affordability and value. So final notes on Medicare supplements. What's the most important thing? Affordability and value. What value are you looking for and what can you afford, right? That's what matters. Medicare supplements are awesome. You could do, so ideal package for Medicare supplements, let's say a plan N plus I could get you a nice, $3,000 dental package plus your drug package, which would cost probably 50 to 60 a month, depending on what you get. But we want to make sure that we have your critical illnesses covered and everything like that. Plus, if you want vision, you can get vision. It's, $22 or so. That would be the ideal situation. You're looking at estimate, let's say 70 plus 60 plus 60. You're looking at, we'll just say 60 plus 60, 120 plus 70, 190. So we'll say $200. $200 per month for a really good. That would be my probably gold or silver package. All right. So there's Medicare supplement overview. Love it. For those listening, you could tune into the YouTube channel and it'll show you what we're looking at here. But the idea is a Medicare supplement plan is going to cover all your medical costs. I mean, if you have a cancer diagnosis, if you have a heart attack or stroke, you're going to have so little expenses. You're just going to be giddy with excitement. It's amazing. Now, the good news is when you're working with somebody like myself who knows what they're doing with the Medicare Advantage side of things, we can do something extremely similar. So with the Medicare Advantage side, we have to, there's a couple things, okay? So with Medicare Advantage, there is, first of all, I didn't even tell you this because I'm crazy and I got a lot of stuff on my mind. With Medicare supplements, there's no network and basically limited prior authorization. So if you know what prior authorization is, it just means that the doctor's office has to get approval before they do the service and it gets paid for. And the reason that that's limited with Medicare is Medicare is just taxpayer dollars. So I expect it to change. I believe that prior authorization will be implemented in Medicare quicker than people. I think it'll be within the next few years. I think it'll be very, very common that services get denied, because what happens is, here's what happens. Mr. Jones goes to the doctor. The doctor says he says his knee's hurting. The doctor says, okay, let's get an MRI. But instead of getting an MRI, the managed care plans, what's cheaper is sending them to a physical therapist and trying to have the physical therapist work it out. Which, from my own personal experience, you can do that. You can have a physical therapist work on it, and it works. It helps. And you just save the insurance company $5,000, or really, $3,500 or $4,000, put it back in their pocket, because physical therapy is cheaper. So you have to understand it from a business perspective. Original Medicare is taxpayer dollars. I do expect it to eventually have some prior authorization associated with it. Now let's get back to this Medicare Advantage. What brought me to this is, with Medicare Advantage, there's no network. So like up here, you don't have, I do think that, what will happen is when they start implementing the prior authorization, traditional Medicare will start having a network, really. And it's not that it will have a network, it's that people won't accept it, which is the same thing. They'll rather you have a Medicare Advantage plan than original Medicare. Medicare is ever evolving, and it will evolve, and it will continue to evolve. With Medicare Advantage, you have a network of doctors that you have to navigate. And so what a lot of times people will say is, oh, you better not get that Medicare Advantage. They'll tell you who you can go see. That's not how it works. We look at your plans. We look at your zip code. We look at your doctors. We put your medications and your doctors into a system. That system tells us which programs cover you the best based off of your doctors and your medications. So, network of doctors and prior authorization is very, very much alive with Medicare Advantage. Now, the statistics will show you what is the percentage of people who are on Medicare versus Medicare Advantage. More people are on Medicare Advantage than on regular Medicare and a supplement. It's truly amazing. As of the latest U.S. data, 54% are on Medicare Advantage. That leaves 46% on traditional Medicare. So more people, 54% on Medicare Advantage. That's amazing. Now, let's talk about the details of it. So with Medicare Advantage, the way it works is simple. It works very, very similar to your group health plan that you had all those years, and if you didn't, this is how it works. For Medicare Advantage, you have what's called a maximum out-of-pocket. So if you ever hear me say MOOP, that's what that stands for. The MOOP, there it is. All right, so the MOOP it's going to be a certain amount. Let's say the MOOP's $5,000, doesn't matter. You're going to have a co-pays and co-insurance for each service. These add up to the MOOP. So once you hit the MOOP, you don't pay no more. No mas, okay? But with Medicare Advantage, you definitely have more out-of-pocket exposure, right? Because remember, on the Medicare Supplement side, even if you get a plan, a high deductible G, the max out-of-pocket's $2,800. Well, with Medicare Advantage, it might be $9,000. Let's say it's a $9,000 MOOP, right? We don't want to pay that. That stinks. It's a bummer. So what do? We cover it up, and we'll get to that in a second. With Medicare Advantage, what's really cool about it is you have your drugs are included. Dental is included. Actually, we'll put DVH. Dental, vision, and hearing is included, which is really cool. There's another thing called over-the-counter benefits. If you have stuff like chronic issues, they have certain plans called C-SNP plans. Like if you have diabetes or heart issues, they have plans that'll give you, healthy grocery cards. You can use that to buy healthy things to eat. They want you to be healthier. You can use it to buy over-the-counter products. You can use it to buy, there's just certain things. Dental, vision, hearing is going to be included almost every time. If it's not, you just got a poor area. So your drug coverage is included. Dental, vision, and hearing is included. You have over-the-counter benefits. You have certain plans for certain types of people, right? Another one would be Medicaid. So if you have Medicaid, you get what's called a DSNP, dual special needs plan. So you have chronic special needs plan and dual special needs plans. We'll go deeper into these in another episode one day. And we'll probably show you some examples and go over that with you. But Medicaid plans, dual special needs plans. These are the ones that give you the most benefits. They have, OTC credit. You can use it for groceries, and you can use it for utilities. So a lot of people use it for utilities or even rent assistance. So with the Medicaid plans, if you're on Medicare and Medicaid, it does not make much sense to not have a dual special needs plan. However, if you have Medicare and you have Medicaid, your expenses are very limited. Medicare pays that 80%, and if you have a certain level of Medicaid, which we'll dive into deeper later, that level of Medicaid should cover that full 20% for you. So you don't have to get a dual special needs plan, and you should have all your medical expenses covered, including medications. But those plans are there for you depending on your area. So just make sure you keep that in mind. All right, so with the Medicare Advantage, we're just going to talk about regular Medicare Advantage. You have the max out of pocket. Let's kind of look at a package here. It's very simple. There's not much more to go over. You have a maximum out of pocket. You have co-pays and co-insurances for each service, and that adds up to that out of pocket maximum. So let's look up an ideal scenario for this. You would have, let's say, a Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan, plus it already has your dental, vision, and hearing in it. You don't need it. How amazing is that? Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan, plus we're going to do a hospital, plus a critical illness. So you're going to have the dental, the vision, the hearing, all that for half the price. Around $100 per month is what that'll cost you. That's your gold package. If you really want to go gold and get it even more, you're looking at $150 to $200 a month, which is the same cost. No rate increases. No rate increases. Either package, just so you know, the representative like myself, we do not care which direction you go in. Financially, for our businesses, this really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. The difference is so minuscule. We want you to be happy. We want you to get whatever's best for you. And again, it's all about affordability and value. That's the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. It's all about affordability and value. All right? So, Medicare Advantage versus original Medicare. Which one is best for you? Now it's time for your personal review. we're going to do a couple of examples here. Okay. Let's say Donna is turning 65 and she has cancer. Okay. Donna, she needs a plan G. You know why? Because she's got cancer. She needs a plan G because she's going to pay that premium and everything's going to be covered. She's got a plan G. She's good. She pays the $250. She's good to go. And people might say, well, what if I don't get that and then I end up getting cancer? I'm glad you asked. Donna is turning 65 and she is healthy as a horse. Let's say she gets a Medicare Advantage plan plus a critical illness plan plus hospital. Ooh. So when she gets that cancer diagnosis, that plan pays her $20,000. So Donna, because she chose Medicare Advantage plus the critical illness plus the hospital, she gets a $20,000 check. She has a $9,000 max out of pocket. She makes money because she got diagnosed with cancer. That's a situation I want my clients in. One more scenario. We'll say Donna is turning 65. And she has diabetes. Okay, so she has diabetes. We take her medications, we put it into a system. She's got some insulin. She's managing. There's two options. She can go with a Medicare Supplement Plan, but other than the diabetes, she's fairly healthy. She just has some insulin for that. So what does she decide? We go over every option for her. She decides that she wants to do the chronic special needs plan. That chronic special needs plan is going to have $0 primary care provider visits. It's going to have $15 specialist visits. She's going to have dental, vision, hearing, and she's going to have a grocery card, $100 a month. She can use that to get groceries, so that puts money back in her pocket. Plus, she also has a critical illness package as well and a hospital benefit. There's all kinds of different scenarios. There's so many different Donnas. We have to keep that in mind, everybody. So obviously, this is a very important episode, and I just want to make sure that people understand that every single scenario is different, every single one, and what people seem to forget is it's not a one size fits all. We have to make sure that we remember that Medicare is never a one size fits all. We have to keep on educating. We have to make sure people are not, just going with whatever their spouse gets or their cousin or their brother. You gotta look at your scenario and see if that scenario fits you well. Thank you for joining in today. Thank you so much. I'm having a blast creating these and just getting. There's so much information out there. And obviously right now it's the annual enrollment period, so a lot of people are making a lot of decisions. We're very busy. Thank you so much for joining in. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless Medicare. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.